Gerald here at WatchReadVape.com, and today we are looking at the Cleito by Aspire. This is a 3.5 milliliter top fill tank that at first glance looks very unassuming. It looks like pretty much every other tank on the market. Has some really interesting and unique features. The first I want to point out, while not too unique, is very welcomed. A nice, clear, and open way of filling the tank. One thing that kind of annoys me about other tanks is you have these little like sliders that you have to flip or open or whatever the case is, and then it reveals these little holes that you have to fill, and it's very annoying, and it's kind of a messy way of doing it. With this, it's completely open up here. You can use whatever bottles, droppers, whatever you hold your juice in to fill this thing up easily, no mess. Really, really nice. The next thing that you've probably already noticed is that this tank does not have a chimney. The coil itself replaces the need for the chimney. Now, Aspire says that this allows you to have a less restricted airflow, which causes better vapor and a more intense flavor. Now, at first I was very skeptical about that. I didn't really think that it was gonna follow that, but I was pleasantly surprised about how well this tank actually worked. These coils at even a low wattage. Now, I originally tested on the 0.4 ohm coil, which is supports about 40 to 60 watts. I ran it anywhere between about 40 to 50 watts, and I could not believe how much vapor production came out of this. Now, don't get me wrong, it wasn't as good as using, I don't know, like a TFV4 at 100 watts or anything like that, but for 50 watts or even 40 watts on a 0.4 ohm coil, it produced a lot of vapor. The flavor was definitely there. It was a really nice flavor. I've found personally that whenever I vape at a low wattage, the flavor really comes through. So I can't really say this had any extra flavor to it, but it definitely did have good flavor. And again, a lot of vapor production, which was really, really nice. The next thing I want to point out about this tank, which is also unique, at least I've never seen it in any other tank, is this little design it has for the bottom. Let me get this a little bit focused. If you see in the center, there's a little reservoir where the actual coil touches the contact that touches the bottom, that touches the battery. And that reservoir actually collects any juice that finds its way through the tank and keeps it from leaking. And that's something that is a trend with this device. This thing does not leak. I have used it for about 2 or 3 weeks already, and I have not leaked anything. Now, I know I've mentioned that before in other tank reviews. I believe with the iSub Apex, I said it didn't leak, and while it really didn't leak much, there was times that I had juice on my hands, especially when filling it at the top or whatever the case is. With this thing, the whole time I had it, I did not leak any of it, which is really, really nice. As I mentioned, the vapor production is really great with this thing. It has two types of coils, a 0.4 ohm coil that is about 40 to 60 watts, as I mentioned, as well as a 0.2 ohm coil, which is about 55 to 70 watts. One really nice thing about those coils are all the coils for this device are Clapton coils. So that really does help the vapor production and all that good stuff. Besides the tank, which you see here, you get both of those coils, the 0.4 and the 0.2. I actually already used the 0.4, that's why you don't see it here. But trust me, it does come with it. Besides that, you get a couple little extras. One nice thing that I found is it comes with its own replacement glass, which is really, really great. Nowadays, a lot of tanks actually come with replacement glass, but whenever I get a tank that doesn't, it's kind of annoying. I recently broke the glass in my TFV4, and I had to replace that. Actually, I have the box right here for it, and that was annoying. I had to go out and find on the internet for $2.95 and then have to place shipping on top of that just to replace the glass. So this comes with the glass. But another thing you'll notice is it also comes with a vape band, but these little colored toppers. Now, the vape band only comes in one color, orange, which is fine by me. Orange is my favorite color. If you ever went to the website, you'd probably know that. But it also comes with these 4 different colored toppers. And what these are really, really good for is when you fill this up, it's possible to overfill this tank. If you actually take a look here, let's get this back open, the lip of the coil actually goes above the glass. So I've found that I have overfilled the tank before. And if that happens, you have these little toppers that go right on top that cover the opening. So now, even if you overfilled it, you will not actually have juice leaking out of it because this thing will stop that from happening. On top of that, it's just really nice looking. It adds a little personal touch to these tanks, which is always nice. If you're the type of person that likes matching your tank to whatever you're wearing, you have multiple different choices, which I know a few people who are like that. But again, it only comes with one color of the band, the Aspire band. And unfortunately, it's not as great of quality rubber as some of the other bands I've seen. It's not terrible, but you could feel it's a little thinner, a little bit cheaper, but that's not big of a deal. Anybody wondering what these bands are for? They're not only for style, which I originally thought it was, but they're also really good at helping you open up and pull off the glass. When you have this band around the tank, you could kind of grab the tank by that and be able to twist and open it up, which is really nice. So that's basically it for the Cleito from Aspire. I was pleasantly surprised by this tank. Will this thing replace like your UL Crown or the TFV4 or whatever the case is? Probably not. If you're vaping at 100 watts, 120 watts, 200 watts, you're not going to use this tank. But if you're like 97% of everyone else that vape at 50, maybe even 60, but low wattages, you will absolutely love this tank. I have nothing bad to say about this. The only thing I would have liked to see is maybe an option for a coil that can go get a little bit more powerful, but I mean, that's me just fishing for problems. Anyways, that's it for the Cleito from Aspire. I've been Gerald. This has been WatchReadVape.com. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time.